Very good day, guys. Welcome back again. I am your host, Dr. Sachin Yadav. So I hope you are doing all well wherever you are present now. So today in this video, we are going to learn about the foramen of the skull bones and their contents, the structures passing through them. Okay, so we'll see all this foramen through the cranial cavity and later on the other parts. So first, through the anterior cranial fossa. So here you can see there is the group for the superior sagittal sinus here. The structure passing over there is superior sagittal sinus. Then between this groove, that is the frontal crest here, and on back the crista galli, in between them there is the foramen cecum. If it is intact or patent, then the emissary vein will pass through this between the upper part of the nose and superior sagittal sinus. Then here it is anterior ethmoidal foramen, which is transmitting the anterior ethmoidal nerve and the vessels. There is the posterior ethmoid foramen here, and this is transmitting the posterior ethmoidal vessels, only vessels. Now you can see the various foramina of the cerebriform plate. As the name suggests, the cerebriform means numerous foramina are present here. So these are transmitting the olfactory nerve rootlets from roof of the nose, nasal cavity to the olfactory bulb. So now we'll come to the medial. Now we will come to the middle cranial fossa here. So here you can see the optic canal between two roots of the lesser wing of sphenoid bone, and it is transmitting the optic nerve and the ophthalmic artery. So you can see the probe is passing through that into the orbit. So through the orbit you can see here, this is optic canal. Then through this orbit you can see again the superior orbital fissure between the lesser wing and the greater wing of the sphenoid bone. So it is divided into three parts, that is the lateral, intermediate and medial part. So first we'll see the structure passing through the lateral part. So all these three parts are divided by annulus of the gin. Fine. So lateral part is transmitting the lacrimal and the parental branches of the ophthalmic division of fifth cranial nerve, that is trigeminal nerve. So this lacrimal and parental nerves. And the third nerve passing through this is the trochlear nerve. So LFT. L for lacrimal, F for frontal, and T for trochlear nerve. So remember LFT, this is the acronym for this nerves passing through the lateral part. Then other structures are the superior ophthalmic vein, meningeal branch of the lacrimal artery, anastomotic branch of middle meningeal artery, which is anastomosing with the recurrent branch of the lacrimal artery. Got it? Very good. Then through the middle part, that is through the annulus of the gin, it is transmitting the upper and the lower division of third cranial nerve, that is oculomotor nerve, supplying the extraocular muscles, except the lateral rectus and the superior oblique, and the nasociliary nerve, the abducens nerve, that is sixth cranial nerve. Okay, so these are passing through the middle part. Now the medial part. So medial part of the superior orbital fissure is transmitting the inferior ophthalmic vein and the sympathetic nerve from the plexus around the internal carotid artery. Very good. Now the other foramen we can see on the greater wing, that is the foramen rotundum. Here you can see this is foramen rotundum anterior to foramen oval. So this is transmitting the second division of the trigeminal nerve, that is fifth cranial nerve, and this is known as or named as maxillary nerve. Then posterolateral to this foramen is foramen oval. You can see from here to norma basalis, and this is transmitting the third division of the trigeminal nerve, that is fifth cranial nerve, and it is named as mandibular nerve. Okay. Then accessory meningeal artery, lesser petrosal nerve, and in the last, the emissary vein connecting the cavernous sinus with pterygoid plexus in male. So that is the male. Means this is the acronym for the foramen oval, male, M-A-L-E. That is mandibular nerve for M, A for accessory meningeal artery, L for lesser petrosal nerve, and E for emissary vein. Very simple. Very good. You are grasping it very fast. Okay, now we'll proceed to other foramen, that is foramen spinosum. It is here. And this foramen spinosum is transmitting the middle meningeal artery and the vein and meningeal branch from the mandibular nerve. Then emissary sphenoidal foramen. This is transmitting emissary vein connecting the cavernous sinus with pterygoid plexus of the veins. Then comes the foramen lacerum. So during the lifetime, this foramen is filled with the cartilage. Okay, so no significant structure passing through whole extent of this foramen lacerum, but internal carotid arteries and the nerve plexus around that. Okay, it is crossing it in its upper part, in the upper end, because the carotid canal is opening into its upper part in the posterior wall, and then now to the pterygoid canal which is present in the anterior wall. Okay, so now to the pterygoid canal is passing through its anterior wall, and the meningeal branch of the ascending pharyngeal artery and the emissary vein is passing. These are passing through this. Then carotid canal, which is opening in the foramen lacerum, and you can see here on the inferior surface of petrous temporal bone on the norma basalis, carotid canal. So this is transmitting the internal carotid artery and the sympathetic nerve plexus around it. Then there is a group for the lesser petrosal nerve and the greater petrosal nerve. So as the name suggests, they are transmitting the lesser petrosal nerve and the greater petrosal nerve respectively. Okay guys, you got it? Fine. Now we'll come to the posterior cranial fossa. So first we'll see the larger foramen, that is foramen magnum. So in the foramen magnum, there is the continuation of the lower part of medulla oblongata to the spinal cord and the three meninges covering it. Vertebral artery, the spinal roots of the cranial nerve 11, that is the accessory nerve. Then anterior and the posterior spinal arteries, the apical ligament of the dens odontoid process, got it? And the vertical band of the cruciate ligament and membrana tectoria. So apical ligament, vertical band of the cruciate ligament and membrana tectoria are attached from posterior to anterior on the anterior margin of the foramen magnum. Then jugular foramen, you can see here, it is transmitting the 9th, 10th and the 11th cranial nerve, that is the glossopharyngeal, vagus and the accessory nerve, and the inferior petrosal and the sigmoid sinus, and the meningeal branch of the ascending pharyngeal and the occipital arteries. Then here comes the hypoglossal canal. You can see here, it is also known as the anterior condylar canal, and it is transmitting the 12th cranial nerve, that is hypoglossal nerve. Then you can see here, it is internal acoustic meatus, and it is transmitting the facial nerve and the vestibulocochlear nerve, that is 7th and the 8th cranial nerve respectively, and also along with that the labyrinthine vessels. So all these three structures passing through internal acoustic meatus. Then you can see here, this is the external opening of the vestibular aqueduct, which is transmitting or which is containing the endolymphatic duct. If present, then posterior condylar canal, if it is present, it will transmit the emissary vein communicating between the sigmoid sinus with suboccipital venous plexus. Then the mastoid foramen, you can see here. So this mastoid foramen is transmitting the mastoid emissary vein and the meningeal branch of the occipital artery. Okay guys, so all these are the foramen which can be seen through or seen in cranial cavity. So all these are transmitting the structures. I have mentioned. Now we'll see other foramen. Okay, so in the next video we'll see again. So till in this video we can stop here now. So I hope you have got it well. Okay, and thanks for your patience and listening. So thank you very much. Till the next video, goodbye. Thank you.